Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Hope so you all are fine. So now in this lecture I will tell you how ARP works. So by explaining this ARP you will see what really the vulnerability is there. So just clear your mind and pay attention to this lecture so you can easily understand my next lecture too. Okay. So now I'm giving you an example. Here you are seeing there are two machines, one is H1 and the other is H2. So H1 is your machine and H2 is my machine, so you are sending me a message. So what you are doing that your machine can see their IP address and MAC address. So first what you do is you send a ping request to H2. The ARP table is empty, so we have no clue what the MAC address of H2 is. The first thing that will happen is that your machine, that is H1, will send an ARP request. This message basically say who has that IP address, my IP address, that is 192.168.1.2, and what is your MAC address. Since we don't know the MAC address, we will use the broadcast MAC address for the destination. So this message will reach all computers in the network. So then H2 will reply. So when I receive the message, I will reply with a message that ARP is replying and is basically saying that's me and this is my MAC address. H1 can now add the MAC address to its ARP table and start forwarding data towards H2. This means towards me. If you want to see this in action, you can look in Wireshark and Wireshark will show like this. Here you see that ARP request for your machine, that is H1, that is looking for the IP address of H2, that is my machine. So H1 is looking for the IP address of H2. The source MAC address is the MAC address of your machine. The destination MAC address is broadcast, so it will flood it on the network. The second packet is the ARP reply. H2 will send its MAC address to H1. Here detailed look, you can see the detailed look here. Okay, so here you can see the ARP is requesting, and then second part here is you can see that H2 means my machine is send its MAC address in the ARP reply to your machine, that is H1. That's all I wanted to show you about ARP. I hope you understand this lecture, how this thing is working. So let's move toward what is the vulnerability in ARP. So meet you in next lecture. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.